Hey, it's your boy Z, and I'm back to explain part two of this landlord situation. And I'm sorry it took so long for me to intertwine these two videos, but my mom was on my floor earlier, and it was taking up a lot of my psychological bandwidth being around her because she's sick and just not in a good place. She's been on the streets for a while, and she stayed the night with me last night. That's a whole other issue entirely, but this landlord thing, I think I left off. I told you I kicked Donnie out with my mom, or he peeled off, and he peeled off in the driveway, and he served my mom with a 10-day order of protection, or not order of protection, but notice to vacate. Yeah, so that's where we were at, and then the events escalated. What happened is Section 8 got on my phone. Basically, Donnie has been saying, I've been evicted, I'm squatting in his house, I have no rights. He says I should leave immediately. I have nowhere to go, so I'm looking for a new place. I have a Section 8 voucher, and they're working with me to find me a new place. I had a few meetings with landlords and stuff like that, and it just fell through. I haven't been able to find a place yet, but I'm trying. Anyway, these three goons, I'm going to call them, they're Donnie's goons, have been working on my house. And how I found out that they were going to be working on my house, I go outside and the Ameren truck pulls up, and he's turning off my power. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why are you turning off my power? And they told me they weren't going to turn it back on. I said, you're going to turn it back on? He said, I don't know. You're squatting in Donnie's house. You're not even a tenant anymore. I'm like, man, I haven't been served with any papers that have evicted me in the fucking slightest. And yes, I am a tenant. Whether Donnie wants to admit that or not, that's the law. I have rights, and he says I have no rights, but he's wrong. So that's kind of why I'm ticked off at Donnie. And then the whole fight that happened around the same time when Ameren turned off the power. That same day, it was a God thing. I swear, this was a God thing. But my heat had been out that night before, and I tried to get a hold of Donnie to come fix the heat, and he wasn't responding. So I called the cops and told them about my heat, and they gave me this number to the Bloomington Safety Building Commission, and I talked to them on the phone. So they sent out an inspector to inspect the heat to get me some heat in the house. You know, it's a basic necessity. And after I talked to them, they called Donnie. And Donnie shows up at my house pissed off, but I didn't know just how deadly serious he was when he showed up at my home and knocked on my window and motioned for me to unlock the common door, which is a common place. There's my door, and then there's another door that is an entrance to the outside, and he had me unlock the outside door. So I unlocked the outside door, and he immediately puts his finger in my face and says, if I call another fucking person, I'm a dead man. I swear, he threatened my life like that. He said I was a dead man. And then he's in the doorway, and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy on? Like, I'm a dead man. Like, I'm trying to push him out of the doorway and close the door on him because he just got aggressive, and this was his plan. I swear, this is where it went way too far with Donnie, and I'm not kidding when I say God saved my life after this happened. Behind that doorway to the outside of my house is a jagged fucking stairwell that leads down to the basement, and Donnie full force pushed me in the chest backwards down the steps, and God blessed, I landed at the bottom of the steps on my fucking feet, pissed off like a pissed off hornet's nest. And I go running up the steps, and Donnie slams the door to the outside, and I'm trying to open it, and he's trying to keep it shut, and finally I get it open, and I'm pissed, man. He just tried to kill me. I'm fighting for my life. And that's when it got violent, man, because I started throwing a couple punches, and then he was covering up his head and stuff, and I got a couple punches in, and then he tried to take me to the ground. Like, he grabbed onto me, he latched onto me, and he was trying to push my head away with his hand to the ground and slam me, But I was good at getting out of the way of those hand pushes because of my fighting experience, and I also know how to manipulate gravity and energy in a fight. So he tried to slam me, and I ended up slamming him on the ground. After he pushed me down the stairs, I landed on my feet and I ran up, and we got to brawling outside, and he tried to slam me, and I ended up slamming him. I ended up on top of him, and I was ground and pounding. I'm not gonna lie, I was throwing elbows, and I tried to headbutt him at one time, and he's yelling, "Get the fuck off me! I'm gonna kill you," and stuff like that. And anyway, the big guy came around the corner because he was on the ground. Donnie was telling me to get off him, and he knew jiu-jitsu or something because he was on the bottom. He almost rolled me over, and he just knew fighting techniques. Okay, you know, the guy came there expecting a fight. He thought I was going to be an easy target, and I ended up whooping him after he pushed me down the stairs. And then after I got off him, he was getting up like he was going to try to swing punches at me. So I had to get separation between him and the big guy and the woman in the situation. So it was like 4 people versus me. It was 4 versus 1. And I run inside and get on the phone with 911 because I just had this big brawl with my landlord outside, and they're all outside with God knows what in their truck, weapons and everything else. And I'm here cornered inside on the phone with the 911 operator saying Donnie tried to kill me and stuff. And she's saying, I'm going to stay on the phone with you the whole time, and police are on their way. And the whole time I'm on the phone with them, I overhear them outside trying to get their story straight, like what they're going to tell the police. And I can tell they are coming up with lies, man, to tell the police, because obviously Donnie can't tell anybody that he pushed me down the stairs. And then the police show up, and they come to talk to me, and I'm just sitting on the step. And they're asking me all these questions. What happened? What happened? What happened? And I explained my side of the story. Donnie came, he put his finger in my face. He said he was going to kill me. I tried to push him out of the door. He pushed me backwards down the steps. I landed on my feet, ran upside, whooped his ass. And nobody went to jail. Donnie should have. He instigated that. He showed up at my house, put his finger in my face, and threatened to kill me. And then when I asked him to leave, he pushed me down a flight of stairs. That's the bottom line. That's a lawsuit. And as far as the police coming and questioning me, there was like some paint that had got kicked over when we were rolling on the ground, and they tried to lie on me and say I kicked that bucket of paint over, which I didn't. And that's one lie they told. So if they told one lie, just imagine how many other lies they were telling, saying I kicked that bucket of paint over when it fell over and it got on my shoe. But I certainly did not kick it over. And so that's some evidence right there that they have been lying. And as far as the crew working on my house, after that fight, they have been verbally abusive every day, and they were calling me bitch boy, and I had to call the police a couple other times, and the police just told me to be the bigger man. So this was over the weekend of 10/10 through 10/12. It was 10/10. It was a Friday when we got in a fight. Today's Saturday the 18th, so the fight happened a week from yesterday. And I had a cracked rib. I had a hurt rib from the fight. It happened about 30 minutes after I was cooling down and got on my computer inside the house with them still working on the house. And my rib started hurting. And I thought, damn, that sucks. But you know, that rib, since it hurt, was the only reason that I didn't continue to fight for my life with these guys, or else I would have taken the brawl to them even more. But I was hurt, so I couldn't fight. So that hurt rib was actually a blessing from the Holy Spirit. I promise you that. And I don't know Donnie's physical state after the fight, but he had a big lump on his head, and he tried to put his sunglasses on. I saw him outside trying to put his sunglasses on. They were all broken and bent. And I was like, huh. I know it's not funny to laugh, and it's probably not appropriate to laugh, but it was kind of funny since he tried to kill me and threatened my life, that he couldn't even get his sunglasses on. You know, we just had this fight, so I'm kind of like feeling adrenaline off that, but it's really not funny. Anyway, yeah, these maintenance guys have been working on my house. And Donnie came in the middle of the day, and there was three of them there plus a girl, and that's when the fight happened with them all working on the house. And somehow they weren't right outside the door and whooping my ass. As soon as I came out of the door, they were around the corner, and Donnie had to yell for help from the bottom while I was ground and pounding them. And I got off him, got separation, and went inside and called the police. And then the police came and took a report. I don't know if they took a report. I think they made their own report. But yeah, that's basically how the fight went. And then up until yesterday, Monday, the Monday after the fight, because I had spent 2 nights in a hotel in Motel 6 because I had to get away from my housing because I knew they were going to be working on the house, and it was just too dangerous to even attempt to stay at my house. So I spent $195 on 2 nights in a hotel at Hotel 6. I was so worried about my cat the first night because I didn't bring him with me. I didn't bring my cat with me the first night, and I was so worried about him that about 4 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning, I walked to my house and I called the cops, and they're waiting for me to see if I can get in. I didn't know if they changed the locks or if I was going to be able to enter my own home, anything. And I was able to enter my home, and I got my cat in a stroller, and I walked in like at least 5 miles all the way to Motel 6 from Cedar Lakes. And that was a tough walk on Toby. He got really stressed out. We were walking by traffic the whole time on a busy street, and he was in a stroller, and then the stroller broke when we got to Motel 6, and I was going up the steps to get in the room, and the room key didn't work, so I had to take Toby back down to the front desk, and they had to make me a new key. And then I was asking them about a new deal for the room, and at first she said it was $75. Then she noticed I played 115 the night before. Then she gets on the phone with somebody, and she's like, no, this is $90, not $75. And I'm like, whoa, you just said $75. Like, I've been through all this shit. And this little girl is telling me, she said it's $75 for a night. Now it's $90 after she gets off the phone. And I'm like, no, 75. Like, come on now. Like, you just said 75. And then she's like, well, I'll do 80 just for you. So I ended up paying 80. So 80 and 115 is 195 for 2 nights. And my cat stayed with me at the hotel one night until the next day. This was Saturday night, and then Sunday morning I wake up, and the Sunday before that they didn't work on the house. They took that Sunday off, so I figured I'd take my chances and assume they might take this Sunday off. I won't have to pay for another day at the hotel. And I strategically woke up early that morning at like 1 a.m. because I figured if they were going to work on the house, I would just go to sleep until they were done. And that's what I did, because Sunday they showed up to work on the house, and I took a sleeping pill and I went to sleep, man. And I don't even know if they knew I was there or nothing, because I didn't make a sound. I was just out until about 4 p.m. and they were wrapping up on the house, but they stayed until about 6 p.m. And it was just that one guy who didn't really have any beef with me. The main guy wasn't there until Monday. So that was Sunday. And then Monday, in the morning, before they got here, I had an idea. I was like, man, like, this is going to get deadly serious if these guys come. And I'm here in this house, and the big guy, the crew chief, is here. And I need to do something. So I went to the thrift store, and I bought a big ass fucking knife, man, like that clipped onto my belt and had a sheath and a handle on it, and it's sharp. It's fucking like a 16-inch sharpened blade. And I bought a nice pocket knife, a World War II standard issued pocket knife with a American Eagle insignia on the knife. And I bought that stuff to protect myself. And all of Monday, when they showed up, I felt like hostage in my house. I felt like I couldn't even leave without them trying to assault me. You know, after all this has happened, and Donnie's goons are verbally abusing me and stuff, and all I hear from outside when they mention me is I'm a motherfucking cocksucker, and the cocksucker's still here, and the cocksucker this, cocksucker that, and that's what I hear. So I'm basically afraid for my life, and I go outside to meet a landlord to go out and view an apartment because I'm genuinely trying to find a new place to live. So I had to go outside and I had to run past the crew and they're calling me bitch boy when I'm running past, man. And I've got this big old blade on me, but they don't know about it yet. But that could have turned into a bad situation, you know what I mean? Because I really wasn't playing games with them after someone threatened my life, and I don't know their mental state and stuff. So I go and check out this apartment Monday, and then I come back and they verbally abused me once again. But I just kind of walked in my apartment. I wasn't really scared because I had that big ass knife on me, and if they wanted to say something, I was gonna show them like my belt. Like, do you really want to say this right now? Do you really want to? Risk your life because you have a sore a stub pussy and stuff, and that's not funny. I'm sorry, but I only get one chance at this, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I walked into the house and I called the police. I'm like, dispatch, not 911 this time. I called the Bloomington Police Department and I told them, I'm like, you know, these guys are still verbally abusing me, and this was because of the Iron Council. And my battle team lead from Team Novere, Joe, told me to call the police. The whole time I've been corresponding with my battle team in the IC and using that resource. So that's a whole nother situation that I am going to get into on this podcast, the Iron Council, and how I was kicked when I was down and kicked out of the Iron Council simply for using the resource available to me at the time. And people said I was threatening to kill my landlord and stuff when I wasn't, when I was the one whose life was in danger. And they kicked me out of the Iron Council for that. But I don't have any grudges against the guys in the IC. I think their hearts are in the right places. But I do have a grudge against the landlord, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to sue him. So while I was on the phone with the police Monday afternoon around 4 p.m., she asked me if I had any weapons. And I tell her, yes, I have this big ass fucking knife around my belt. And she told me when the police get there, just put your hands up. They know you have the knife. They're gonna deal with it. And I get there and the police opens the door and he's like, what the hell is this? And he quickly and safely disarms me. He hands the knife to his buddy. And I'm pretty sure he talked to me for a little while, asked me why I was calling him, why he was there. I told him basically they're bullying me, they won't stop messing with me, and the whole time his partner's got my big ass sharp knife. And then they go talk to the antagonist, and I think the cop said something like, you really don't want to mess with this guy because we're giving him this big ass knife back. He can have this. Legally, he can have this big ass knife. And I wouldn't be going in his fucking apartment because he seems like he might use it, you know? And that's when the whole situation calmed down because I was no longer just a simple target that they could bully. I had become a legitimate threat. And if you know anything about bullies, once they start thinking that you might fuck them up, they start getting real scared and they instantly calm down. And that's pretty much what happened with the big guy after he found out I had that knife, because like the energy switched and I started getting some peace, man, and they quit verbally harassing me for the most part. So that was Monday, and then Tuesday comes and I really don't have any problems. I go out, I meet with the people. I stay a lot of time outside, away from the house, you know, let them do their thing and just keep away. But I did try to go to sleep, and they were working on my side of the house Tuesday, and they woke me up, man. I fell asleep around like 10:30 before they got there, and around like 12:30 I hear them waking me up, and they wouldn't let me go back to sleep, man. They kept making noises outside of my window, and they were working on that side of the house the whole time. so I wasn't allowed to go back to sleep. So once again, I felt like a hostage in my own home. But Monday, the big guy, the crew chief, made a call to his landlord, and he was like, "Man, Zach has this big ass knife. Like, he's threatening harm with it, and we can't bully him anymore." And that's what I overheard him say on the phone. And yeah, so Tuesday, they woke me up, and it's been a lot calmer ever since Monday after they found out I had that knife. It's now Saturday, the 18th, and the only problem I had yesterday is I almost had an anger blackout, man, because like I woke up late. They thought I was gone for the day. Like, I'm probably gonna have to leave today if they're here today, but they put the lift in the back of the house, so that must mean they're done with the lift. But yeah, it's 9:15 a.m. They're probably gonna be here around 10:30, and it could get dangerous for me. But I'm probably gonna leave for the day and just let them do their thing until they leave for the night, and go walk around town or something. But you know me, I'm keeping it 100. I fought for my life. I defended myself. I do not plan on threatening anybody. No one is in danger at this time. But it got real, guys. And it turned out to be a blessing once the dust settled and I realized that my landlord really tried to push me down the stairs. He really tried to kill me. And you can't be treating people like that. You can't just work on their house and forcibly evict them without due process like the landlord tried to do. So that's my story, man. And I'm sharing it with my socials and stuff. So I hope you guys understand that I'm not at fault in this, and you guys can support me through this situation that the landlord has bestowed upon me in the lawsuit and everything. And that's all I got to say about that, except for the Iron Council. I got kicked out of the Iron Council, and I don't want to talk about that, man. I'm good on talking about that. It's not really a big deal, but Mr. John Lovell from Warrior Post Society, I did reach out to him today and ask him if I could get involved in his society. Not that I left the Order of Man podcast or movement with shame or indignity. It just kind of happened that way, and it could have happened to anybody. So I wasn't really all that shameful about it. It just didn't work out. One door closed, and I'm hoping another door opens. And that's my whole strength, that I get to choose which door opens. That's why I have strength within my spiritual health, because like I have given myself choices in this world. So yeah, I'm hoping John Lovell gets back to me. I sent him an email, and we're gonna see where this goes. This is an ongoing, continuing life that I live, and I'll keep you guys updated. Peace.